Brodes Media.
Gross. 5-0 lead. Opening day. You're beating up Jacob deGrom. Pretty damn good. Alec Bohm, opposite field power. Nick Castellanos right before that gets a double. So the two guys that we've been wondering, what are we going to get? They explode nice and early. Trey Turner triples. Brandon Marsh triples. Guys are scoring left and right with Aaron Nola on the bump. And poof! It's gone! Are you kidding me? How in the world do you allow 9 runs in the 4th inning? It's frustrating. We've seen Aaron Nola hit this wall before. Now, to be clear, I'm not telling you Aaron Nola stinks. I'm not going to big-time conclusions right away. They had a really long season last year. Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler were in positions that they are not used to because they went deep into the postseason. It's a quick turnaround. We're already talking about opening day. I thought the season ended 4 weeks ago. We snap our fingers, and here we are breaking down baseball again. It happens very quickly. The velocity sitting around 91, 92. Not that Aaron Nola's a fastball machine high 90s, but he could be more 94. He can sit more 94. Full disclosure, the best show ever went up against the Phillies game today. So for the first 2 hours of the game, which we thought the game was going to move a little quicker, but damn, it did feel like it kind of went a little slow there because all the damn runs. But we had to watch the game on mute. And I remember looking over at Tyrone going, dude, imagine playing Major League Baseball and seeing a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Now, Aaron Nola has succeeded with this low velocity. His pitch sequence when he's dialed in is sensational. Pitch sequence, fooling guys. There's nasty, nasty stuff with that curveball that gets going. You get fooled, you get buckled, you get lost because Nola's grooving. But, you're used to 99, 98. These guys throw hard as hell. 92, it's kind of unfathomable sometimes just thinking about it. So that's why when he's not on, it's a little bit easier for him to fall off a cliff because you can't accidentally blow 99 by somebody and then swing them. You can get away with mistakes when you're throwing 100, when you're bringing the heat. It's not the case when you don't have that type of power. But it is what it is. Look, I still believe in Aaron Nola. I'm not freaking out saying, Aaron Nola, classic. This is what the guy always does. He folds. I've seen that, and that's how you know Phillies baseball is back. I think there's a lot we have to factor in. Not a normal offseason for the top pitchers. Not as much time to revamp and settle down and kind of get yourself going again. Well, settle down after the season and then revamp. It took a big difference this offseason. It was a big difference for them. So you have to find a way to adjust. But yeah, we have seen that happen at Nola before, and that's why I look at Rob Thompson and I say, yo, dude, could you have gotten him out of there earlier? I'm not the one to scream at Doc Rivers after every loss. I don't scream at the manager because we talk about how in baseball, the fingerprints of the manager is not on the game as much as fans want to believe. They could swing a couple of games at a 162. So that means every loss, I'm not going to point to Rob Thompson and say, you screwed up. With that said, when it was bases loaded and the Phillies were winning 5-0, Aaron Nola in the game allows a 2-run double. The score is now 5-2. I'm pulling Aaron Nola then. It's opening day. You don't have to ask for your starters to go deep. Generally, you pull them earlier. You look at their pitch count. It just needs to be in a decent range. It was at a decent range. He clearly didn't have it anymore. I thought that was a clear and obvious one of, all right, we know how Nola gets. If we can get him out of this game, even though there's a couple base runners on, it's a 5-2 lead. You feel good about yourself heading into the next one when he gets his nod. And we'll figure it out from there. When Robbie steps to the plate and hits a 3-run blast to tie it, I thought it was avoidable. Who knows? Maybe Soto comes in, walks a guy, a single happens. It's 5-4. I don't know if he lets up a home run. Maybe he walks a few guys. Maybe there's a bloop involved. But I don't know if it's a full-on blast. There were some lefties at the bottom of the lineup. Now, Grossman is a switch hitter, so it would depend on who was on the mound. But with Brad Miller down there were some lefties. And I thought, if you're going to make a change and you see Soto warming up, you think lefty. I don't know. Maybe I'm dissecting it too heavily, but I don't think I thought it was pretty clear. And it was even mentioned prior. It wasn't just a hindsight thing. It's game one. You know the history with him. The question becomes with Nola, though, the contract. Him and his agent and Dave Dombrowski sat around and said, if we can't get something done before the season begins, we'll get to it when the season's over. Fine, I have no issue with that. We spoke to Jason Stark on Wednesday, which we're going to speak to him every Wednesday throughout the season, just like we did last year. Sensational. Love getting his baseball knowledge. He said that the Phillies and Aaron Nola were not even close to the same page. They weren't even relatively close. So I bring that up because how is that going to impact Nola? My guess is it won't. There is something to be said, though, about Aaron Nola possibly being fragile. This is why Aaron Nola, though, is controversial. And I believe in Aaron Nola. I'm not an Aaron Nola ripper at this point. He's going to do this, and he's going to have a bad game, and he's going to have a big lead, and he's going to fall apart, and it will be a collapse. But then he'll go shove 7 innings, 11 strikeouts. He'll give you 10 strikeouts and go 8 innings. He'll give you a complete game shutout. It's just when he's going, it's crazy good. When he has the hiccups, it's mind-boggling because his ceiling is so high when he's locked in. But we got an Aaron Nola type of day today.